Hey, algebra students. Okay, so this is our final worksheet for the year. So this is Making a Move Lab. And again, we're investigating quadratic equations and things like that. So it says here, now that you understand the housing crash, we kind of like talked about that earlier, determined how your current home values have changed and we kind of researched a little bit for the two areas to move into. It talks about getting serious about crunching the numbers. And so in Module 2, that was the one we talked about with the housing crash, and we looked at, those different quadratics, okay? And then value decrease and has not recovered yet. The current value of your home can be represented by this function. And this right here is actually t squared. But yeah. So it says that's the value of your current home, and it's in thousands. That's important to know. Okay, so that represents 134,000. Okay, so that's why this looks a little bit different, but it's in thousands of dollars, and T is the amount of time since your home was purchased. They should have said it was years. I'm assuming it's years. At this time, the home you've selected to purchase is steadily increasing in value. So remember, this is your current home, and then you're wanting to purchase another home in either Area 1 or Area 2, and we decided Area 1 was better. And you have decided it's best to try to get your mortgage payment close to what you're currently paying now. So this is where we can kind of analyze this graph. So it says understand your home's value. So graph that function. So I did that for us right here. Okay, so this is a graph of that function. Okay, and we'll take a look at it a little bit more. They want to know a few things here. It says use your graph to answer the following questions. Will the price of your home ever be zero? How do you know? Okay, so look at this graph. Will it ever be down to this area right here? Will this graph ever reach down here? No. That's good. Okay, that's the lowest it'll go right here. All right, so will the price of your home ever be zero? No, because the parabola or the graph never crosses the x-axis. So you can say that the graph doesn't cross x-axis. Okay, and that can be your answer for that one. Next one, over what period of time was your home's value decreasing? So let's look at when the graph is going down. So it looks like the graph's going down here. Okay, all right. But specifically in our case, it's going down when t equals 0. We would kind of like to count this part, but in reality, time can't be negative. So really you're not thinking of this at all. You're just really thinking of this starting here, basically. So when t equals 0, all the way to when t equals, it says here, 4.214, because remember, this is the first value. That's going to be your time. This will be your value. So this is time, and this is value of your home. Okay. So from 0 to 4.214, that's when it's decreasing. So over what period of time is your home decreasing? So we're going to say from 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 4.214. So that's when it's dipping down on the graph, like that. All right. At one point, how many years after the purchase did the value begin to increase again? Well, it was that point right there, 4.214. You can kind of see. After 4.214 years, it starts to go back up. So we say 4.214 years. It's going to go back up. And the lowest value of the home was the y value of that point. Okay, so if we look back at the graph again, That was the value at this point. Okay, $118,000 basically, but we can write the specific number, 118 and then 460. Because remember that this was in, on the graph, it's in thousands, so 118 thousands, that's 118,000, and then you have $460. That's what that represents. Okay? When will your current home value return to the original purchase price of $134,000? So what I did is I created this line right here. That's $134,000 right there. So at first, when you bought it, it was $134,000, and then the prices went down. You had a crash in the market. It goes back up at 8.429 years. Okay, that's when it goes back up to the $134,000 again. So that's this point right here. So 8.429 years. It goes back up. All right, so now the final part, compare your current home's value to the value of the home you wish to purchase. So this was a little tricky. The house you want to buy is valued at $129,500. Now remember, in thousands, that's 129.5. Okay, if we're working with, if we're making this, our graph in thousands, it'll be 129 thousands. Okay, 129.5 thousands. Since then, it has increased in value $1,295 each year, which means that's 1.295 thousands each year. Okay? Okay. So it says write an equation to represent the value of the house you want to purchase. Okay? So the house you wanted to buy was that originally. So if we think of this as y equals mx plus b, okay, then we can write an equation for this. So the house started, remember the b value is the y-intercept, so the house started at 129.5, so that's going to be the number that goes for b. And then the slope is 1.295 because it's saying it goes up 1.295 thousandths each year. So that's saying 1.295x. So we're going to say 1.295x plus 129.5. So that's our equation to represent the value of the home we want to purchase. And then it says, using that function, write a system of equations and graph to determine when the values of these two houses are equal. So we don't have to necessarily write it like I've got it in here for you, but it's this equation right here for the house we want to purchase. And it's this equation right here for the current home that we have. And it said, when will they be equal? So basically, I typed them in. So here's the system of equations right here. So again, that's the current home, and there's the new home. Okay? And you're looking for when they intersect. But here, they don't intersect like right here. They're going to be equal kind of in two places, but this is kind of what I was looking at right here. They're going to be intersecting at this point right here, 9.359. That's how many years. And then 141.62, so that's one point where they intersect. And then here's another point where they're going to intersect. We can try to find that one as well. So the first one, like I said, when will they be equal? One solution is 9.359 years, and it'll be at 141,000.62. Okay. All right, and that's later on after like your value of your home starts to increase again, okay, if that's the true trend, then your value of your home will be increasing again, and then they'll be equal again. But initially, when your home value is decreasing at the very beginning, they actually do collide at the same time too. So let me make sure I have that. All right, so if I put that in, I'm going to do that real quick, so just give me a second. So 1.295x plus, and then I'm going to put in 129.5. And it looks like on this graph, that point right here, I'm just writing in here. I'll have it for you, of course, when you're watching this, but 130.212. So in 0.55 years, it'll be worth 130.212. Okay, but when it goes back up, it'll be worth more. So, but those are two possible solutions. When will they be the same? Those are two solutions there. That's where the two graphs intersect. So, yeah. So that's actually solving a system of equations where you have like a quadratic and a linear equation. So you're just finding where do they intersect.